Occasionally, Fox News tries to do real reporting. Kudos to them, it is an election year. Sometimes they even speak to real voters about real issues. And sometimes Donald Trump's on the line too. He can hear those real voters' concerns. And this was a pretty good question from a voter. Take a look.
What are you going to do about bringing down the rent and things like that in the economy? Because out of 8 children that I'm a father and a stepfather to, 5 of them are struggling, and I'm giving them part of my income on a regular basis. How are you going to make the economy not just the the food and electricity, but bring down the rent prices, the housing prices, so that these kids can survive without their parents' help?
Such a good question, Mr. President.
Whoa, such a good question from a guy who belongs to a motorcycle club in Sturgis, South Dakota. There he was. The rent is too damn high. It truly is.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
And Donald Trump's on the line, and let's see, he heard the whole question. What does our former president have to say about the rent being high?
You're right. I hear it very well. And I tell you, first of all, I love the people that you're with. I know that I must have at least 99, perhaps 100% of all of them. And I think they're incredible. We are going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to bring down the cost of energy. Energy is what caused the worst inflation, I think, in the history of our country. Food prices are up 50%, sometimes more. You look at bacon. Bacon is quadrupled. You can't order bacon. You can't order anything. We're living horribly. We have the worst inflation we've probably ever had in our country, and it started because of energy. We're going to drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby, drill. Like everyone owns an oil rig? Or is that, or was he talking to the billionaires at Mar-a-Lago that he promised a bunch of kickbacks if they gave him $1 billion? I don't know here.
Yeah.
Before I can get to you, like this is a huge concern. He had no answer. It's a massive problem. Half of all renters, this is according to the Harvard Center for Joint Housing Studies, half of all renters spend more than 30% of their income on rent and utilities, and 12.1 million spend more than half their income on housing and rent. Middle income renters earning from $30,000 to $75,000 saw the sharpest rise in the cost of housing since 2019. Even as rents cooled last year, the market's cooled, they're still up 19% from the start of the pandemic. In 4 years, 19%. I can attest to this, it's wild. And there you go, Cenk, that's how he plans to earn that gentleman's vote.
Yeah, so I want to come back to that guy and basically left-wing reaction to him. I thought he asked a great question. First, Trump though. The answer starts with me. He's like, oh man, I'm having trouble paying the rent. I'm worried about the kids and stuff. And he's like, look at all those people that are for me. They're all gonna vote for me. That's what you got out of that question? He's a total psychopath, man. Look, I'm 100% undeterred on this. I said Biden was too old, and I don't care what anybody said, he was too old. And Trump is too crazy. It's obvious how crazy he is. Bacon price quadrupled. Did it? First of all, fat ass, when's the last time you bought bacon? Like you really went down to the local Publix down in Florida and got yourself some bacon and noticed that the price quadrupled? Of course it didn't quadruple, it didn't even double. Of course not, he pulls it right out of you know where, right? So then he says, oh, the answer to your rent problems are oil drilling. Okay, so when I lived in DC, I was a struggling radio talk show host, and I ran out of money, and I couldn't pay the rent. And I eventually had to move in with a friend in Baltimore and drive back and forth instead of staying on his couch. Lived on cereal. At the point where I can't make the rent, if somebody said to me, "Don't worry, I got your back. I'm going to give subsidies to ExxonMobil," I would have been like, "What? Are you serious?" That's like a slap across the face. That's saying, I don't give a damn about you or any of your concerns. And guys, the most important part of this is, notice he has absolutely no policies to help the average American. I mean, this is a softball. You can't get an easier question than, hey, what can you do to help the average American who loves and supports you with our actual day-to-day problems? And his answer is, help ExxonMobil because they gave me a lot of donor money. That is, okay, so he has no plan. He's not gonna help you at all, at all. There's no question about it. And then the final irony here, Franny, is Trump is a notorious landlord. And in fact, earlier in his life, when he did residential real estate, he and his father were slumlords and adjudicated as slumlords. So you think he's gonna help you with the rent? He'd be the first to rob you, brother.
He'd be like, sorry, are you, what race is the man who's speaking to me? Is that I'm on the phone, I can't see, because I would rent to you if you're white. Are you white? Cool. Black? Not so much. But yeah, and look, there's no evidence the Democrats are even better on this issue, right? Like Kamala Harris and Donald Trump apparently agreed to debate one another on that September 10th ABC debate. So we will see if Kamala Harris has an actual answer to this, because the rent is, no matter who you vote for, what side, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, it is too high. And so of course Donald Trump could never go against the market gods, the real estate gods. But Democrats take hand over fist money from the real estate industry. What is their plan to actually truly cool this market? Which, I mean, God, there is so much robbery happening within the real estate market on everyday renters. So I'm curious to see how both answer that during the debate.
Yeah, so my last things here, I'm a stubborn guy. So I know that, oh, well, if you say that anything positive about RFK Jr., we're gonna throw dead bears and brainworms at you. That's fine. But there is actually one person in the race with a very good housing policy. Look, guys, I'm gonna vote against Trump. I'm gonna support Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, especially because she picked Tim Walz. So this doesn't mean I love RFK Jr. and I'm gonna vote for him. But his housing policy is end private equity buying all of our homes. And that is,
and sell bear meat. You buy bear meat low, you sell it high, and you get rid of private equity. That's true.
Okay, but Franny, that policy is by far the best housing policy, right?
100%, yeah.
It is. So we're fair on this show. No matter what, we're fair. And then finally, I was hoping that the left-wing people commenting on Twitter and social media that are on the left side didn't make fun of this guy, because I was worried they were going to, and they didn't. And they were like, yeah, that's right, we have the same problems. You see that? And that deserves a real answer. I can't believe he didn't give him an answer. And there was a lot of respect for the questioner and for that man. And thank you, left wing. That's right. That's the right attitude. We're all Americans together, and we should all be fighting for the right solutions together. If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.